Same shit, different day for Blackburn Rovers as we make it 3 defeats on the spin. That's 7 goals conceded over the last 3 games. Are Blackburn Rovers in trouble? We're going to go to that more next. That's right, folks. Back once again with another match review. Looking back at Blackburn Rovers' latest match out in the Championship, and we'll get to that in just a second. If you know where you've been, stop what you're doing, swallow what you're doing, smash the old subscribe, bang out today. All things Rovers related, Championship related, World Cup related, boys and girls, later this year. Of course, before we jump in the deep end, of course, and take a look at the result, I want to say a big shout out to Blue Rose Capital for sponsoring this review. And of course, make sure you vote. That's right, for Blackburn Roverseas in the Football Content Creator Awards. That's right. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this. That's right. Please do us the honours over there. Cutley/vote Roverseas. Get our name in lights. Get some recognition to the channel. And of course, vote. Cutley/vote Roverseas. The link is also in the description, just in case you cannot type it. But of course, we are talking about the shambles that was Blackburn Rovers' latest match. 1-0 it was in the end to Stoke City in a game that probably, in all honesty, we probably should have got something out of this game. Let me just punch this back here then. So, that better? That's a little bit better. So, yeah, 1-0 in the end. I have had a little bit of a moment to calm myself down, but at fault for the goal, it's not going to change. A little bit of time to think about it doesn't change my meaning. Joe Rankingstad was purely 100% at fault for that game. A clanger of a pass gave up Lewis Baker a chance to have a long-range shot, which he delivered, which caught, of course, Kaminsky off his foot, and he scored to give us the one and only goal in a game. Rovers probably deserved to get something out of it, but we were a little bit toothless going forward, as you see from the stats. 71% possession for Rovers, 29% possession for Stoke. We had 18 shots and just two of them on target. They probably didn't even need a keeper. That's how bad we were up top. Diaz, of course, probably playing his last game. I'm wearing this in his honour, probably the last time, as he looks forward to a life probably in the Premier League, whether it's for Leeds, Brighton, Leeds, whoever, who else. But of course, it's a worrying stat or a worrying fact that Rovers are going to struggle with goals this season. And yes, we were there. I was there. I harped on about Rovers leading the charge at the start of the season. And I'm not going to take it all back. But we had to take that moment and, of course, celebrate it, because we're not going to be there, and we're definitely not there now. We are free falling down that table like a stone. And of course, standing at the top of the table now is Paul Ince and Reading. Goodness gracious me. So how quick the tables have turned, but the stats are there. Rovers dominated the game, but I think the first half was probably some of the worst football I've seen for Rovers, especially with a bit of a bizarre team selection. And yes, a lot of fans were saying on the watch along, it's a bit concerning that John Dod Thompson has not figured out his best 11, or he is just kind of left with no choice, because we were surprised. Well, I was definitely surprised to see Joe Rankin instead of starting ahead of Karen Britton, but that was purely down to injury. That's what we've been told. We've been told before kickoff. Gallagher also nowhere near the team as well. Also likely injured. He was there. I did actually see him all dressed up in his tracksuit, so he was there, but he wasn't amongst the subs. But it goes to show, if Britton is not fit and raring to go, that right back is definitely one of our weak spots. And how many weak spots do we actually have in this team? I think we have a few. Yes, the huge spotlight has been on our back four, our centre backs, of course, trying to get those in. And what's kind of irked me a little bit is the vocal fact right now. And hopefully they're just covering their arses to say at the very minimum. But both GDT and GB, I believe, have been quoted as saying 3 players in for Rovers before the end of the transfer deal. Don't get me wrong, I am very, very grateful for those 3 players, whoever they may be. We do understand that 2 of them will be centre-backs. But for me, I think that's just papering over the cracks, to be honest with you. That may give us some more bodies for the back. But I think if you're trying to create a work of art, you know, we're about to strengthen the back line. I'll get you that. The centre-backs will be strengthened, and I think we'll look better out of it, out of the window. But what about moving forward? If we are going to sell Diaz, which the motherfucking logical thing to do is to sell Diaz, if we don't sell him, oh my gosh, we're going to get mugged off in January. And he will go to La Liga. If we don't sell him, by Thursday, he's off. He's off foreign. He's off to bloody abroad for free. in January. He won't be off in January, but he will go for nout, peanuts, zilch. And that will piss me right off. So we have to sell him. The business thing is to sell him. So if the three, if that's what we're hearing, the three, two of them are centre backs, one has got to be a striker for sure. But realistically, we need about another two. We need two up top. One to replace Diaz and one someone else. Without Diaz, it's Gallagher, it's Vale. That's it. Then to be honest with you, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. I know a lot of Championship clubs are already struggling. Middlesbrough, one of the teams that have been screaming out for a striker. They brought in Munez from Fulham as well. They've got Marco Foss from Brentford. So people are scrambling around. It's just frustrating to see the lack of business Rovers have. We were given the food, or given some hope really that Rovers had a healthy budget, and yes, we are spending some money on some players and proven Championship players, and it might all work out in the end. But I am starting to worry. 3 games in now, 2 on the road, one here where we haven't scored a goal, and we are about to sell the guy who scored all our goals last season. Surely I'm not the only one that thinks this is a major problem for Rovers. We have got to have something, or more than one thing, in the pipeline. Surely. I am happy that the potential of Dominic Hyam coming in at the back, that will definitely strengthen us, and maybe the 2 centre backs coming in will change our shape to something else, and we'll look better for it. But right here, right now, I am starting to get a little bit concerned about us. When you think about the likes of Reading, who I'm sure everybody at a month of Sundays had pinned for relegation, are sitting top of the table with Paul Ince at charge, and now we are free falling like a stone towards the bottom half of the table, and who knows where. I am worried. This week's game against Blackburn will be massive, following up I think Bristol City as well. Games which I'm hoping we can get some points out of. I just don't know if we can, or if we can, how many will it be? As for the corners, do we have corners on here? Yeah, 12 corners for Rovers, 3 for Stoke. They really just they got their goal, shut up shop, and that was good enough for the 3 points. This is the starting lineup for you today. Kaminsky between 6, Pickering, Ayala, Phillips and Costello. Ryan Costello, I tell you what, he needs a loan. I was gobsmacked to see he was never given a loan. And I want to see him succeed. Playing him at right back is not the answer. Definitely not the answer. So either he's pushed further forward and we get somebody else to be that backup right back, because it cannot be him. It cannot be him. I'd rather see him up there where Smodic is. Of course, he's also a bit of a shitter so far. I've not been happy with that signing so far. Yes, he got himself a goal and everything looks sweet on debut day, but really, ever since then, there's not been much to get excited about. I was very, very happy to see Dak lead the charge. He could have had a couple of goals today, and it looks like he will be the guy, the figurehead, to try and get us some goals in this season. Diaz will leave us. Buckley was a bit shit today. Pickering again, and a bit ropey as well. So Ayala, Phillips, man of the match. I'd give it Ayala. Phillips was a close second. As for Stoke, this is their lineup. Bonham between the sticks. Fox, Taylor, Flint and Wilmot. Lucas Baker, Thompson, Dwight Gale, Liam Dillard and Jacob Brown, who were, of course, problems for the Rovers back line. Let's take a little long hard look at it. This is, of course, how they panned out according to this. 4-2-3-1. Couple of yellows for Phillips, Costello and Champs. There was a penalty shout. I think it was in the second half. I think Dolan was it was a fair shout. I believe we should have got a penalty for that, and that would have changed the game. That would have given Rovers a possibility to level the scoreline. Within about 5 seconds of that penalty shout, on the other end, Phillips took out a man, which it looked like a foul, a legitimate foul, and it should have been a second yellow card. I think the referee was kind of covering his own arse there to say, you know what, I made a mistake by not giving that penalty, and of course I've given him the benefit of the doubt for this one. So we could have ended up with, of course, a penalty, and also down to 10 men, which probably would have resulted in a win for Stoke anyway. But of course, the man of the match ratings, of course, according to this, ranking us over the 6. That's being generous. That has been absolute. Considering you were on for 45 minutes only, and your main bit of play was a clanger. You had 2 or 3 other clangers. That's being generous. I think you're a 2 at best today. A 2 for me. No way. The man of the match for Rovers, 7.1 for Travis, 7.8 for Ayala. Yes, Phillips must be a bit above that. Maybe the yellow card was a bit, knocks his performance down a bunch. As for the opposition there, Baker with an 8. And honestly, the goal was the difference. That was it. I think we were definitely the better side in the second half, and we were a little bit hard done by not to get an equaliser. But this is at home. We've just come back of 2 thumpings on the road. We were looking for this as a response. All the cup bullshit now is a distraction. Now everyone's getting a little bit giddy about going to West Ham. I get it. Enjoy yourselves. Yes, indeed. But I'd rather have won today than to have won on Wednesday, to be honest with you. If I'm going to be honest with you, I'd rather have won today than the gift that is the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. So for me, it's been a bad week. It's been a bad week. We'll play an extra game than everybody else in November. Fortunately, in fact, it's around about the time where we take on the Dingles, and don't get me started on them. They won today, and they won good on the road against Wigan. They are just about to click in the gear, and they could click in the gear at the right bloody time when, of course, we come around. So I'm very, very nervous. This week is probably going to be the biggest, the most defining week in this Jon Dahl Tomasson era. 3, they're saying, I'd only be happy for 5. I think we need 5 at best, and I don't know if the 3 is signings, actual players that we're spending money on, or 3 permanent additions. But that is definitely the bottom of the barrel. We've got to get those 3 in for sure. But I'd like to see others, whether it's loans, free transfers, whatever it is. We need 5 players at best coming in to put on the shirt for the season. The depth is not good enough. We're weak. We're weak in the middle third. We're weak going forward as well. Diaz is gone. Just think about that. Without Diaz, who is our talisman? Who is the guy? We had Adam Armstrong and Diaz at one point. Then last season we had Diaz. Now we've got fucking Gallagher. No disrespect to Gallagher. There's goals in him. He will get some goals. But if you are pinning your hopes on Gallagher scoring the goals this season, we are in trouble. We are in trouble. Smodish ain't going to get shit. Dak might get some goals. And that should be a bonus. The Dak goal should be a bonus. We shouldn't be pinning our hopes on Dak getting the goals. We should be having a striker, a forward, a guy. For the past 3 or 4 years, we've had a leading man, whether it's Armstrong. It was Armstrong and Diaz for a couple of seasons there. And now we've lost both of them. Who are we looking at now? Who are we pinning our hopes on? Is it Makinde? He's not giving a sniff in right now. I don't know. We need to replace that guy, and we need to replace it now. And this week, and hopefully it's not somebody we're just gonna let's have him and blindly pick. We need to have somebody that's decent, that's going to be able to lead this team and get some goals, 10, 15 goals this first season. And I don't want a project. I don't want somebody who's 80. They're talking about this other Chilean guy or a Venezuelan guy or something like that. I don't know. Come on, we need somebody the here and now. Let me just clean this up a little bit. How do I clean this up a bit? Is it this one? I think it's this one, right? We need a bit more of this. We need a bit more of this, or we need a bit more of this. That's right. All right, then, of course, to take a long, hard look at it. This is the shot grid. Rovers are orange. No shots really coming from this right-hand side, which would be the Hedges side, or who else was on this? Smodic was down there for a little bit. It's all Dolan. Oh, I'm sorry, all Diaz. Diaz. And how many did he have? 5 today. Dak 3. Smodic 0. Buckley 0. Travis was 0, but he was played out wide. On the other side, Baker with a couple, Delap with a couple, Brown as well. Gale, toothless up top. What are we looking at here? Possession, 729 touches for Rovers, 526 passes. On the flip side, 421 for Stoke, 212 for the passes. As for the heat maps, as you can see, Rovers bossing it, having all the gear. This definitely right-hand side is our weakness. Right side is forward missing. Hedges did look good when it came on, so did Adam Wharton. Those are the takeaways as well. Those guys should have pushed themselves forward. Put your Smodics out of the way, put your Buckley out of the way. Adam Wharton starts, Dak starts, bloody Hedges starts against Blackpool. Stoke, look at it. Sporadic touches, not very good for them indeed. That's of course what I have to say. What about, of course, the gaffer? Here's Jon Dahl Tomasson, of course, with his thoughts and wisdom.
To be disappointed with the result, the performance. I think we should have getting more. We to see the performance. The first half, of course, it can be difficult when a club is changing manager. It can be difficult, and we didn't play a good game in the first half. Our decision making and our intensity, we were a bit passive in that way. So the decision making, of course, then you saw those times where we made bad decisions on the ball, without the ball. Stoke got opportunities, not a lot, and the boys was disappointed about the first half. The second half was an excellent half. We created opportunities, shots was blocked. We got the fans with us, a lot of intensity, a lot of good football. The only thing was lacking was a goal. So we need to learn from that. We need to start better. I told them that. We need to start when the minute one. Also, even if you don't know exactly which formation the opponent will come in, but the boys were prepared for 3 different formations, so there shouldn't be an issue.
I know you're a very calm man. When you go in the dressing room at half time and you're unhappy about the way it's gone, do you stay pretty level-headed with your players, or
Not today.
Do you get angry?
Not today.
You were angry today?
Yeah.
In every aspect of the first half?
It's not good enough. The boys knows that.
Second half, you made your changes, didn't you? You were forced into one in the first half. Did you feel that it really did click a lot more for you second half with the changes that you made?
It's always difficult to say that it was a brilliant second half when we lost the game, because I hate losing. The fans hate losing, players, but it was a great second half, wasn't it? It was only lacking one thing, that was the goal. And credit to Stoke for blocking the shot, credit to the goalie for saving as well. And and I don't know if we should have had a penalty or not. I don't want to talk about it, but I think we can be satisfied with the second half in that way.
It's 3 wins and 3 defeats. You've had 3 of each so far, Jon.
Yeah.
Does that kind of sum up where you are right now, that you need some help?
No, I think in a way, if you look at the season, 8 games played, 5-1, 3 defeats. When we won the game, I said, we will win and we will lose. We are working for the future. The future is not tomorrow, it's not today, but in a while. And we are working hard and working hard to see a team how I want to play football over time.
Adam Wharton got his first taste of league football today. He didn't look out of place, did he?
No, he's a good player. That's also why I'm not afraid of using youngsters. He's a good player. Still need to learn something, but he wants to learn. I think that's important. But great for the academy to get a new player into the first team in that way. So they've done a good job. And Adam, he's been working hard from the beginning when I arrived. But he has quality for sure.
Is he someone you think will be around your first team all season, Jon? Or if you get players in, do you think he's someone who'll...
He stay.
That's interesting. He's come a long way in a short space of time, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he wants more.
What happened to Sam Smodic today?
He was not feeling well. I think you can see that. So there was a bit of a concussion. So we needed to change in the first half. So hopefully it's not too tough for him. He was not feeling well.
And just on the transfer front, Coventry City have said that Dom Hyam has been given permission to speak to another club after a bid was accepted. Is that club Blackburn Rovers, Jon?
I said it to your colleague yesterday. I missed you yesterday.
We
always have some good chats, but we will probably sign 3 players before the market is closed, and let's see who's coming in off the door. I always hate to say we are interested in that player or rumours. Let's see who's coming in to the ground and sign the deal.
Is 3 enough?
Let's start with 3, huh?
Is there a possibility of more than 3?
Christmas is not coming so early yet.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right then, folks, let's take a look at what's going on social media. Kicking it all off with Iceman. I'm also amazed that they have come out with only needed 3 more players. Absolute poor stuff. Chris Wrigley, send long balls to Dolan in the middle is so frustrating. Concur with that. Dak was the response to my question, who will get the goals. Ben the Boss Jackson says, same old shit from us. Clearly gone backwards to the Tony Mowbray days. Was painful to watch. I believe it was a little painful to watch. Have a word with the EFL officials, please. Waving off a Stonewall pen and then stopping play when Hedges played through on goal are only 2 of the highlights of the ineptitude of display today. I agree with that. To repeat what I said at halftime, 2 centre backs needed, 1 left wing back, 1 pacing winger needed, 1 ball winning and ball holding midfielder needed, 1 striker needed. Adam Wharton gives me hope and should be starting ahead of Buckley in the next game. Change needed. Lewis Hartley, of course, one of the mafiosos, said no end product yet again. Didn't even test their keeper. Serious need some striker to come in and maybe another attacking midfielder. Dolan needs to stop with these shitty 5-star skills crap and shoot on to the next game and hopefully a much better performance. Coach Steve said that first half cost us dearly, much better second half, but need to start games better. Ayala immense again. Wharton looked superb when he came on. Now let's get some players players in, please. Carwick said someone pack Diaz's bag for him. 20 million would be a robbery. Was a much better second half. Felt Wharton looked class, Hedges looked lively. If we play like we did in the second half, we will be fine this season. But who actually thought we had promotion chances this season? Not me. I know I was very, very vocal about it, but I have my prediction out there. 12th. 12th is me. 12th is me. I was all about bigging us up. You know, we've got to do it while we can. Matt Thorpe said, as much as I like Phillips and the great potential, we can't rely on him heavily this early. 2 centre-backs minimum and a striker, but I'm honest, I don't think even 3 will cut it. Hopefully Makinde and Wharton each full fitness, but we are in dire need of reinforcements. And Suzuki said, some of the lads need to kick up the arse. Hasn't been good enough of late. Some of the young players showing their first team how to do it, still lacking quality in the final third, but can't keep starting games so poorly. So a big few days ahead and a first major test of John Dale Thomas's project. Siobhan said Diaz and Dak were on far too long and I lost count the number of headers Dolan wasn't anywhere close to. We really need help up front. Great assist from Adam Wharton. He put in a proper graph today, and let's all agree never to play a side again that's just sacked their manager. And yes, you are seeing that right here, right now. Tony Mowbray is set to replace Alex Neil as Sunderland manager. Oh my goodness. Oh my days. So that's, of course, to be had. What else is going on around the Championship? Let's take a long, hard look at it. Of course, these were the results. Luton Town won. Sheffield United, Sunderland, of course, nil. Norwich City, nil. Alex Neil no longer in charge, it looks like. Middlesbrough 2-1 win over Swansea. They got their first win of the season. Blackpool, of course, never say die. 3-3 against Bristol City. Bowler, Corbinell and Yates on the score sheet for Bristol City. Wigan got spanked by Wigan. They got six goals in that game. 5 for Burnley, 1 for Wigan. 3-2 Hull City over Coventry. Esteban with a hat trick. He's got like 7 goals already this season. He is the Ivan Toney of the year. He's the Mitrovic of the year. He looks a player, and that could be the difference for Hull City this season. Huddersfield 2, West Brom 2. Great fight back by West Brom. Millwall 0, Reading 1. Of course, that win will put Reading top of the league. We'll see it in a minute. Watford 2. Oh my God, the ex-vegan manager there, Rob Edwards, hitting a bit of a brick wall now. Ian Beale's fish and chips with a 3-2 win there. Rotherham 2, Birmingham 0, and Cardiff 0, Preston 0. Holy smokes, how many games have they drawn now? They are the draw specialists. Preston yet to taste, they've only scored 1 goal, yet to concede a goal. Airtight at the back. Woodman is a great keeper. He's a fucking good keeper, but I think he's probably the best. Definitely top 2 or 3 in the division. Reading, look at that though, 4 wins, 2 defeats. And I don't think they've had a bad transfer window. They've lost Swift. They might lose Lucas Chow, but they're top of the table right here, right now. Sheffield United, of course, are second spot. Hull are third, just 1 defeat. Norwich up there to 4th now. They've clicked into gear. Rotherham 5th, doing A-OK. Watford in 6th. Burnley 7th. Rovers are in 8th, according to this. Anyway, Stoke down there in 17th. Swansea, Huddersfield, Coventry going down as it stands. Of course, this is what's going to happen this week, this midweek. Of course, busy week of action. Sheffield United gets Reading, that's on Tuesday. QPR gets Hull, that's Tuesday. Also, Cardiff, Luton, Birmingham, Norwich, Burnley against Millwall, Wigan against West Brom, Watford against Middlesbrough, and into Wednesday are Stoke, Swansea, Bristol City, Huddersfield, Coventry, Preston, Sunderland, Rotherham, and Blackpool take on Rovers in a bit of a Northwest crunch clash. That, my friends, is all I've got for you. Be sure to give it some love and smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Check out the links down below, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and all that kind of business. Where are you, Dirk? I am here. What are we going to do? We're going to do this, of course. Don't forget to vote. Cut the /vote Roverseas. Get your name in there. Vote as many times as you can. Open up different browsers. Use different devices, whether it's on your phone, on your TV, on your PlayStation, whatever you can do. Just vote. Cut the /vote Roverseas. You can do it. Get our name in lights. Get the guys, of course, a bit of recognition who are treading the boards. The Jacob Wards, the Millies, the bloody Alex and the Havens, the Holmesies, of course, the Denver Greens, all the guys who have been helping out making the content, the Ben Sullivans, you know who you are. But of course, yes, the main takeaways today, it looks like Mowbray Ball's coming back to the Stadium of Light. I don't know what they're going to be thinking about that. The ex-Borough man coming in for Sunderland. It's right there for him though, absolutely made for him. But of course, for us, the concern is what's going to happen this week. Are we going to bring these 3 signings in? Or will there be more? Hopefully there'll be more. I think there needs to be more because we were shit today. We were about to lose our best attacker. And I just don't know where the goals are going to come from. 7 goals conceded now for Rovers. The defence should get patched up a little bit this week. But realistically, Riker Costello, I think you should be going out on loan. Let's get someone else in. Get a loanee. Get bloody Vandenberg, who can cover right back. Hayden Carter. Somebody else. Just put Ranky Costello. Give him a season out on League One, and hopefully just bring in some more faces. Their depth needs improved. We need more bodies. Let's get them in. Let's see what happens this week. Busy all week. Blackpool next. But until then, guys and girls, we're done.